Chiara Pelacani in third at 210.35, but look how close all the others are. 8 points between second place and fifth place. So for the podium, anything can still happen. And checking at the list of the divers, the last 5 divers diving that are also the top 5 divers in the ranking, the clear advantage is for Michelle and Grace, just on a degree of difficulty stance from that point of view, because the others have the inward 1.5 somersault pike, while Michelle has the reverse twister and Grace has the forward 2.5 somersault pike. While we saw the last dive of Lauren Alaselka, it was high, very high, and nice in the entry. Probably once again not perfect on the hurdle and a bit too far forward. 50.70 for her, and she closes at 2:33.50. Caroline Kupka now, reverse 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist for the Norwegian diver, who's in 12th place after the 4th round of dives. Wow, she did a very good job recovering. Look at her feet, completely over the end and into the water. She still got as high as possible and vertical. Very good job recovering from that spot on the board. She gets 6s from the judges and a total score of 223.90 for the Norwegian diver. Anna Pisminska now for 1.5 somersault, double twist. The double twist for her. Way too far forward. Since the very beginning of the hurdle, her shoulders are leaning forward. She doesn't move her arms behind her at all. These cannot score very high. Too many mistakes on the board for Anna, who actually ends up doing a perfect entry, but way too far away. Yeah, and she is disappointed with that. 5.5 from the judges, and she closes 2:36.80. Elle Tixon now, back 1.5 somersault pike. Elle did an amazing job on her reverse 2.5 somersault tack, and then, unfortunately for her, made a huge mistake on the forward twister. If not, she would have been very, very close to the podium. Too bad. Back 1.5 somersault pike for her to finish her list. Not bad. Probably a bit too far away from the springboard. So 6.5 from the judges, and Elle gets up in 3rd place at the moment at 232.65. Jette Müller, she was in 6th place, a bit further back than the top 5 divers, just 4 points behind her teammate, so she could still have a chance if things don't go right for the other divers. A chance for medals, obviously. And a struggle there on the hurdle, not very strong off the board and quite far away. So not an excellent execution on this dive for her. She's most likely not going to repeat the 4th place that she got last year in Rome. 6s from the judges, a total score of 248.80, put Yette in first place at the moment, waiting for the others. Kaya now. Kaya needs 7s to get ahead of Yette with this dive. A back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist. Oh, very nice. Excellent job by the Polish diver. Not very high, but she's very fast, both in the somersault and the twist. So she gets perfectly vertical and a clean entry. And 6.5 and just 1.7. Not enough for her to get ahead of Yette. Just 1 point behind the German in second place right now. Representing Italy, Elena Bertocchi. Huge mistake for her on the previous round. She needs 6.5 now to get ahead of Yette. But probably that won't be enough to repeat herself and be back-to-back European champion. And a great dive. Unfortunate fourth round of dives for her. The big mistake on the hurdle of the reverse 1.5 somersault cost her a lot. She goes very high here above the board, and a nice lineup in the entry. She closes at 250.65, and she's in first at the moment. Needs to wait for the other 5 divers diving, and we start the fight. The fight for medals now with Lena Enschel, inward 1.5 somersault pike. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful dive. Probably the only thing about this dive is that it's not very fast in the somersault, but the distance is perfect. The movements are correct, and also the lineup is clean enough. Could have been a bit cleaner if she would have put the hands flatter on the water. Didn't grab very well, probably, her hand. But excellent job by Lena on her last dive, 7.5. A total of 54 points on this dive, and she gets ahead of Elena Bertocchi and everyone else at 260.75. And now we have on the board Michelle Einberg, reverse 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist for her. Beautiful dive. She does not repeat the mistakes of last year in Rome. Again, the hurdle is a bit too far back, ends up being too far back on the board, but she goes very high and finally gets a very clean entry also on this dive. 7.5 from the judges, and Michelle Einberg sets the bar for gold at 273.25. First place for her as of right now. And now Grace Reed, forward 2.5 somersault pike for the British diver. Oh, amazing entry. Very clean. This is going to score very high. She needed 8.5 to be ahead of Michelle Einberg. Don't know if it's an 8.5, but this dive was strong, high, and especially very clean in the entry. 7.5 from the judges. She ends up being second right now behind Michelle Emberg at 266.90. Chiara Pellacani now. Ooh. Very hard for Chiara. A very hard situation. She's not in a bad spot. She can do it. 9 to get in front of Michelle, and 8 to be ahead of Grace. It's hard. She can do it. Very good job. Let's see what the judges think. The dive is not extremely high, but it's very precise in the technique. Arm swing is perfect. Legs are perfectly straight and together, and a clean entry for Chiara. Let's see what the judges think. 7.5 from the judges for Chiara Pellacani, and she's in third place behind Grace Reed right now, waiting for the last dive of Emilia Nilsson-Garriet, who only needs 6s on this dive to get on the podium, and 7.5, an average of 7.2 from the judges to win. And once again, another competition that is decided on the very last dive. And here it is, the new, let's see what the judges think first. The dive is good, it's probably just a little bit short. Let's see, she had quite an advantage. Oh, wow. 7th from the judges, not the 7.5 that she needed. Oh my God. Drama at the pool right now on the last dive. Michelle Emberg takes the lead on the last round of dive and wins, but just 0.15 points for 15 cents of a point. Incredible end to the 1 meter women final. Michelle Emberg is the new European champion. You see it here on screen, all very, very close. And Michelle, on the last round of dives, takes the lead and wins gold here in Rzeszów. Well, that was exciting once again at the last dive.